Hi, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Naki. In today's tutorial, we are going to look at how we can check file permissions, how we can give permissions to files on our operating system. It's like going to the bank. The customer and the staff, there are some place as a customer you can't enter those places. Even the staff, we have some special offices that not all staff can enter. So this is how permissions work in Linus. As a file owner or as the one who created the file, you have to restrict other users from accessing your file and directories. So this is what we are going to look at today. Okay, so when we say file permissions, they are rules assigned to a specific file that other users can either access or cannot access. So we have three permissions that we can assign to a file. We have the read permission, the write permission, and the executable permission. So we are going to look at these three permissions and how we can assign them. First, let's check permission of a file. So let me create a simple file here. Oh, sorry, supposed to bring the, let me add it straight. So let's write something small in the file. We have created a file called myname.sh. So when you do ls, you can find myname.sh here. Now we want to show the permissions of these files in the root directory. So we do ls-l. Okay, so these are the permissions. These are the permissions of the file. So looking at the first one, the first D means the thing we are talking about is a directory. Then dash means file. So we can see that our file myname.sh start with dash. It means it's a file. Then the D here means it's a directory. So you have to know the difference between those two. Always the first thing that they will bring is the file type. So we have directory and file, D for directory and dash for file. So after the file type, we have some ratings here. They have been grouped into three. The first three is for the owner who created the file. The next three is for groups that users belongs to, and the last three is other users. When we look at the file that we created, myname.sh, you can see that the owner have read and write permission. The other groups have only read permission, and other users have only read permission. So no one can run this except even the user or the owner can't run this file. He only have read and write permission, so he can read what it is, he can add things to it, but he cannot execute this because he doesn't have the executable permission. So let's try executing this file. It says permission denied. We don't have the permission to execute that file, but when we do cat, you can see here it's working, so we can read it. When we want to do changes to, or we want to write something to it, we can do nano Yeah, as we can see, we can add things to it. Let's add something small. So this is how it is. We don't have the executable permission. So to check file permissions, you can do ls-l to check the type of permissions. So I have some files in my documents. Let's go and check the permissions on it. To list the contents in a directory with its permissions, we have to bring the ls-l. When we do only ls, only the content will show up. The file permissions and the size and other information about the content will not show up. So let's do ls-l. Yeah. Okay, so these are the permissions I have on these files. You can see there is no permission for cities. So let's do cat cities. It work because we are the owner of the file. But let's switch to other user and see if it will work. I have a user called Kick, but let's create another user. User add username. Let's make it Naki. Add password. Password is password. Never use password as your password. We have created the user. Let's switch to that user. Switch user. Okay, we are in that user. Let me use bash. Okay, so let's do ls here. Yeah, the same script is here. ls-l. We are now standing in the document directory of the user Naki. The same content is there. Let's try running cities and see. So let's cut cities. You can see it said permission denied. We don't have the permission to read the content in that file. Let's try the other file that we have permission, like cities underscore weather dot sh. We have read permission on that file. So let's try that one. So cat yeah, that one is working. You can see we can view the content in this cities underscore weather file because we have read permission by the user who created the file. Okay, so let's try executing the file and see. Permission denied. We don't have permission to execute this file, but we can see the owner who created the files also have fully read and write. Let's see if you can write something to this. So nano cities underscore weather dot sh is unwritable. It means this user don't have permission to add anything to this file. Okay, let's switch back to our root file. Hey, what's going on? Authentication fail. Okay, I was typing the password wrong. It was asking for the root password, not the user password. Let me clear my screen. ls dash. Okay, so the Nake user wasn't having the permission to execute the cities underscore weather. Although this user is the owner, but doesn't have the permission to execute. So now we are going to look at how we can assign permissions to a file or a directory. Now we know how to check the permissions. We know all these are files. Why? Because of this dash. We know all this here. The file type is a file. There is no directory here. When we move back and do ls -l, you can see that we have directories here. Okay, so now let's move to the file that we created, my name.sh. What if the user want to execute those files, want to run the file, he want the file to work? What will he or she do? You have to assign permissions to that file, executable permissions, because now he don't have any permission to execute the file. He can only read and write. So let's assign the read execution permission to that file. We have different ways of assigning permission. We have the one that we can use numbers, or we can use the normal X for executable. So to assign permissions, we use the command called chmod. Then the type of permission we want to give. So let's say we want to give executable permission to that file plus X, then the name of the file, my name.sh. Yeah, when we do ls, you can see that we now have execution permission for other users, for groups, and the owner have full read and write and executable permission. So now let's execute our file. Please enter your name. My name is Naki. Hello Naki, welcome to my YouTube channel. Thanks. That's what is in the file. That's what we told the file to do. So now we can execute the file successfully. Let's switch to other user. If the user can also execute this file, because it's having the executable file, I know he or she can execute the file. So let's switch to user Naki. Let's run the file and see. Name.sh. Please enter your name. My name is, let's say, Kojo. Hello Kojo, welcome to my YouTube channel. Thanks. You can see because the user is having executable permission, he or she can run the file. Yeah, because of this. What if you want only the owner to have executable permissions? What will we do? Let's move back to slash user. We want only the user to have access to that file to execute it. So this is what we will do. Can use the numbers to do this file permissions. Can use the numbers to switch the file either on or off. So ls. So these dashes are the switch. These dashes here, we can switch it on and off using numbers. With the numbers too, we have 0. The 0 means all of them will not have access to the file. All the permissions will be dash dash dash. Then we have 1. That means they will have executable permission. 2 is writable permission. 3 is write and execute. 4 is only read. Then we have 5, that's read and execute. 6 is read and write. Then 7, that's the last one, full function or full permission, read, write and execute. So we are going to use these numbers to work with our file. 7 is for full access. Now we can give the owner full access by giving him or her 7. 7 is read, write, and execute. Let's say we want the groups to only read, so we give them 4. Then other users 0 permission. We don't want the other users to have access to my file. The file type is a file. The owner have read, write, execute. The groups have only read. Then other users have no permission on that file. So the user can execute the file, can read the file, can add something to the file, or can remove something from the file, the contents. Let's remove the thanks. Ooh, what's happening? So as we can see, the owner have full permission over the file. Let's switch to other user and see if he or she can run the same file that the user can execute, read, and write. We don't have permission to either read, write, or execute. So let's try permission denied. Let's try writing something to it. Denied. Error reading my name, permission denied. Let's try executing. My name. No such file directory because we don't have permission to access this file. So this is how, as a user, you can assign permissions to your files. We're gonna stop here. In the next video, we are going to look at how we can use other ways to assign the permissions. We have other ways like using the UGO, user group, other users, permission, and also you look at how we can change ownership. The file that belongs to the root, we can change the ownership to Nake, the user Nake, so that he will have the full access to that file. So thanks for watching. Subscribe and click on the notification bell so that anytime we upload a video, you will get in touch with it. Thank you. Thanks for watching.